Welcome to Easy English by Editing, and today we are going to do one literature class 9, the poem Lake Isle of Innisfree. Well, children, this poem titled as Lake Isle of Innisfree is based on the fact that human being is fed up with the hectic and busy life of the city. Everybody wants peace and solace of life. The poet is also fed up with the hectic and bustle and rustle of the city life. He just wants to have the peace and tranquility of life. So, this poem reflects on the tranquility of life. In fact, living in a cottage away from the city is quite different from fast and hectic life. The poet believes that city life is full of rustle and bustle. It doesn't have peace of mind. So, he desires to live in a small cottage away from the rustle and bustle of the city life. That is the reason why he wants to go to an island of Ireland where he wants to build a small hut. The poet says that he is going to Innisfree, an island in Ireland, to build a small, simple but beautiful, cottage just for his stay there. He wants to live alone in peace with nature. He wants to live in the lap of nature, and he wants to enjoy the slow pace of countryside living. What does he want to do? He wants to enjoy the slow pace of countryside living. At last, the poet speaks that every night he wants to hear the lake water lapping against the shore. Even though he lives in a city with the crowded roads, he is drawn to the rural sounds of Innisfree. The poet is attracted to the sounds made by the rustling of the trees. Of course, he has desire to keep himself away from the bustling sound of buses and the vehicles of the city. The poet finally decides to live in the lap of nature. Then, children, a question comes to mind. Why has the poet decided to live away from the city? It's very simple. The city life is a hectic life. It is having no peace of mind. The poet desires to have complete peace of mind. So he wants solitude. He wants solace of life. And that is the reason he thinks that he will live in a countryside for some time to experience peace of life, solitude of life, and to have the interaction with nature, Now we shall go line by line of the poem. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. The poet desires that he will arise and go to an island in the Ireland that is known as Innisfree. And a small cabin built there. He will build a small cabin there made of clay and wattles. 9 beans of rose he will prepare there, and a hive for the honeybee. What are the things he will prepare? Tell me. He will first construct a small cabin. Yes, you are right. First he will construct a small cabin. Thereafter, he will also make how many rows? 9 bees rows. And then he will also have a hive for honeybee. Honeybee. And he will live alone there. No one will stay with him. He will completely live in solitude. And he shall have some peace there. For peace that comes from dropping from the wells of the morning where the cricket sings. He wants to listen to the song of the cricket. And the midnights all glimmer, noon glowing with the purple shine, evening full of in its wings. All this beautiful scenery he wants to enjoy. He also wants to arise and go there for the night and day. He wants to listen to the lapping sound of the lake water, low sound of the lake water striking to the shore. While he stands on the roadway of the city, he can experience right from there this beautiful sound. He can hear the sound of the lake water lapping with the sounds with the shore, striking with the shore. He will finally decides that he will stay away from the city Select that. The poet finally decides to stay away from the city to have solace of life, peace of nature and solace of life. Let us discuss the question answers. What kind of place is Innisfree? It's a place full of solitude, and it is situated in the lap of nature. Situated in the
lap of nature.
Okay. It is a beautiful place where nature is in its full swing. Select that. Innisfree is a beautiful place. Select that. Innisfree is a beautiful place.
Innisfree a beautiful place.
Yes, full of peace of nature.
Peace of nature.
It is the nature is in its full swing there. Bolu. The nature is in its full swing there. Full swing.
There.
Another question. What does the poet wish to have there? The poet wished to have the sound of lake water lapping at the shore. Lapping at the shore. He wants to enjoy the singing of the cricket. Singing of the cricket. Now another question. When and where will the poet experience peace? That is another question. Come on children. When and where will the poet experience peace? The very simple answer is the poet wants to experience peace in the lap of nature. Say like that. The poet wants to experience peace in the lap of nature. In the lap of
nature.
At the lake Isle of Innisfree, which is situated in an island in the Ireland. Island in Ireland. He wants to observe the beautiful trees, insects, birds and bushes. The calm and cool atmosphere of the forest will give happiness to him. He wants to enjoy the calm and cool atmosphere, and that will give him complete peace of mind. Complete peace of mind. How does the poet describe the lake's waves? The poet says that the lake's waves hit its shore and create a low sound. It gives him aesthetic pleasure. What kind of pleasure it gives him? Aesthetic pleasure. It gives him aesthetic pleasure. He hears and enjoys it. It also gives him solace and comforts. He finds peace of mind there. He finds peace of mind there. Another question. Why does the poet want to go to Innisfree? Obviously, the poet wants to go to Innisfree to have peace of mind. To have peace of mind. He is totally fed up with the hectic life of the city. He is totally fed up with the hectic life of the city. He wants a change. He wants to find some peace of mind. And he wants to live in the lap of nature. In the lap of nature. Right from morning till noon, he wants to enjoy the beauty of nature. He just wants to get away from all the rustle and bustle of city life. Rustle and bustle of city life. And he wants to enjoy the pleasing sound of birds and get peace of mind. Get peace of mind. Another question. Where is the poet standing and how is it different from Innisfree? The poet is standing. The poet is standing on the roadway or on the pavement of the grey color. This color epitomizes decay and disaster. Decay and disaster. He compares that with the floral beauty of Innisfree. However, standing there, he can experience the beauty of nature at Innisfree. He can experience the low sound of the low sound of the water getting striking at the shore. Standing even at the city road, he can experience and hear the sound of the lake water lapping at the shore, lapping against the shore. Select that. Standing at the road, even in the city, the poet can experience the beauty of the sound of the lapping water, against the shore. He will be contented and satisfied with living in a small cabin and working at a small farm. He just wants to get away from the city, rustle and bustle of the city, and wants to live in a small cabin and work in a small farm. Is the poet really going to Innisfree merely as an attempt to escape from the harsh realities of life? No, the poet is not going there to escape from the harsh reality of life. Rather, he wants to experience beauty of peace of mind. He wants to live in the lap of nature. The sounds that he imagines of the lake Isle of Innisfree, the sound of the lake water lapping by the shore, echoing in his heart, makes him happy. Makes him happy. Perhaps he wants to have a change of mind. He doesn't want to live in a hectic routine. So he wants a change from his hectic city life, and that's the reason why he wants to migrate to a countryside to have solitude of life, peace of life, peace of life. Why is the poet deeply attached with the lake Isle of Innisfree? Innisfree is a simple lake island where the poet has spent his childhood days. The poet is in search of peace and calmness, which the lake of Innisfree can provide him. The environment is natural and peaceful, and the poet desires to visit this island and live there for some time. According to the poet, that is the only place where he can get solace of life, happiness of life. He is very much attached to that place because he has spent his childhood days there. The poet also believes that the lake's waves hitting the shore creates a low sound, and that gives him aesthetic pleasure. So in a nutshell, we can say that the poet wants to live a life in the lap of nature and enjoy solitude of life. That's what is all about this poem. Thank you.